Hi, my name is Echo, and welcome to my channel where I talk about getting my life together. Hopefully, some of the tips and tricks that I share can help you get your life together too. Today, I actually wanted to talk about transitioning to the carnivore diet. I chose the carnivore diet because I have insulin resistance and I have PCOS, and the carnivore diet is low carb, like very low carb. If you haven't heard of the carnivore diet before, the easiest way to describe it is this is keto but without the vegetables. And so a majority of the things I eat would be and meat and fat and a little bit of dairy. Um, for some background to know where I'm coming from, I am coming off of 25 years of yo-yo dieting. I have seen my weight go up and I have seen my weight go down. I have done severe restriction. I have tried to do intuitive eating, which just led to binge all the time. I have, you name it, I have tried it. And so here I am trying something new. I'm hoping that by nature, meat and fat is very satisfying. I'm hoping it can help me overcome the binge cycle that I have been stuck in for a really long time. Um, to help myself out, I've decided to create a set of rules to help me transition from where I am now to where I want to be. And these transitional rules are actually they're not as strict as some people on carnivore are, because there are some people that are super strict with the way they eat. But I think that when you are coming from a place of restriction and binging, that you need to allow yourself to have that wiggle room to feel like you are not so closed in. And so I designed all these things to help combat the feelings of feeling like I am heavily restricted, even though the carnivore diet by its nature is restricting. And so the first rule that I would like to follow is that I am not going to step on the scale. I have a time limit. I want to try this diet out and see how my body reacts to it through the new year. So I have weighed myself. I have taken my measurements. I want to see what my end result is on January 1st. But my relationship with the scale has always been a negative relationship, because if I step on the scale and the number is down, then I am having the best day ever. I'm thinking I'm doing so good. But even if I have been doing equally as good, if I step on the scale and the number is up or the number is not what I want, then it makes me want to binge. I start thinking that I am doing things wrong. I start thinking that I need to be more strict, which leads to more binging. And so I've decided I'm not going to let the number on the scale mess up this experiment to see how my body reacts to the carnivore diet. So I'm just not going to step on the scale between now and January 1st. The second thing that I'm going to do to help myself not feel restricted is I'm going to allow myself to eat whatever meat I feel like eating. And I say that because there are some people on the carnivore diet who only eat ruminant meat, meaning they only eat like beef and lamb. Or there are people who only do the BBE protocol, which means they only eat beef, bacon, butter, and eggs. And I want to feel like I have options. And so I also think that it'll be better for my budget. I want to feel like when I walk into the store, if pork chops are on sale, I can buy those and not feel like I am breaking my diet, or not feel like I have to spend that extra money to get a certain cut of meat or a certain type of meat. And I think that will help both with my budget and with feeling like I have variety. The next rule I have set with myself, actually the next two rules, also help with feeling like I have variety, and that is I am going to be more lenient with my spices than most people are on the carnivore diet. And by that I mean I'm going to use some common sense, of course. I'm not going to use a spice that its first ingredient is sugar, because I am trying to eliminate those cravings for sugar. But if I want to, I'm going to have variety through spices, through blends. Just as long as my body is tolerating them well, I will continue to use them. The next one that goes in line with that is that I'm going to allow myself to have low carb sauces. And what really helped me with this is I watched this YouTuber called Laura Spath, and she was ordering food at Buffalo Wild Wings, and she ordered the naked wings and some buffalo sauce, some garlic herb sauce, and some sour cream. And I realized, if something is low carb and it is helping you stick to this diet, that it's really not bad, especially in the transitory phase. If you need something like that, you should have it. And when I think about it, I'm like, what is worse? Having two teaspoons or a tablespoon of sauce, of low carb sauce with my meat to make it more palatable, or running out and ordering a pizza or some Chinese food, which was always my go-to when I didn't want to eat what I perceived of as a diet food. And so allowing myself to have that, I think makes the diet more sustainable. The next thing that I am going to do is I am going to cut out diet soda. And this one actually pains me because I love diet soda. I love, love, love Diet Dr. Pepper. It is amazing. It has been my best friend. As I have said, I have been on lots of diets for a really long time, and diet soda has been there with me through the entire thing. But the goal is to get rid of that sweet taste, because when you're eating something sweet, you crave something sweet. And the truth is that diet soda is engineered to be sweet. And as long as I am indulging in diet soda, as long as I am indulging in a sweet treat, I won't be able to kick those sweet cravings. And so as much as it pains me to get rid of Diet Dr. Pepper, I just need to let it go, at least for now. The next thing that I am going to do is I am not going to push any kind of fasting. If you have been in the carnivore community or anything, you have probably heard of intermittent fasting. And that is just something that I am not ready to do. I am not going to say, well, I want the 16-hour fast, and then at 10 hours be like, oh, I just need to make it. I do not like that feeling. I do not want to feel like I'm hungry, which is terrible. But I know that feeling that way leads to binging. And so introducing any kind of fasting before you're ready for it will result in binging, at least for me. And if you have done it in the past, go ahead and examine it. Maybe it's something that you need to hold back onto. But yeah, so I am not going to force any kind of fasting. I do understand that there may be some natural fasting. As I said, meat and fat is very satisfying. So if on some days I only eat 2 meals, that's okay. But if on some days I eat way more or a lot, I need to understand that my body is healing from me being like, I'm going to be on a restriction diet until I can't take it no more, and then I'm going to binge until I gain back all the weight I lost. So I just need to understand that fasting for me is not in the cards right now. The next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to limit dairy. And the reason for this is because I want to see how my body actually reacts to dairy before I start incorporating it in because I find dairy something really easy to overeat, to become reliant on. And I know that when you're doing the carnivore diet, it's kind of like a garnish. It's not really your main course is not cheese. It is not like, it's not the main dish. The main dish is some meat and some fat. Well, probably butter. But the main thing you are eating should not be this giant block of cheese or like a whole bunch of goat cheese. And so I'm going to go ahead and limit that to start and see how my body tolerates it, because there are also people that find that dairy irritates their stomach, and I want to know what is bothering me. And so I'm just going to limit that and introduce it slowly and a little bit at a time. The next thing is that if I have a craving, I will eat butter. Now, I know cravings are going to happen. I know if there's any kind of diet, there will be a certain amount of time where you just have to push through. That's just the way it is. But I have heard from varying people especially those who follow Bella the Steak and Butter Girl, that if you are having a craving, if you want to kill that craving, the easiest way and quickest way to do it on carnivore is to have some butter. And so I've decided that when cravings come, because I know they will, I'm going to plan to have butter. So those are the rules that I have come up with to help me transition from where I am now to a more carnivore type lifestyle. I know that they're not as strict as some carnivores would like, but you know, when you are making a transition, you have to decide what is best for you. And some people will say it is best to just cut things off, go as strict as possible. You will be able to adjust quicker, and everything will be easier if you can just do that. But I know from personal experience that yes, it may be quicker, but I also eat for emotional reasons. Like I cannot be hungry at all and still cram my mouth full of stuff, which is hard to do on this diet. But I just don't want to deal with that. If you understand, I don't want to feel like if I'm not all in, I'm failing, because sometimes taking a step towards the direction you want is more important than taking a big leap and then quitting. And so if I need to do these little things to help me get where I want to be, I'm okay with little steps, which is something I have had to work on, because I've always been a big leap girl, and I wanted to make big changes, and I wanted to see big results, and I wanted them quickly, but that I've realized that doesn't work out. And so I'm taking it less strict. And I hope that these help you out. If you have been doing carnivore, have you had to take like a transitional step towards being carnivore? Did you go straight into carnivore? What did you find helped you the most? I'm hoping that these things will help me. I hope that if you have tried, because I have done false starts on carnivore before, and these set of rules are geared towards helping me overcome the things that I have struggled with. Hopefully they help you. If they do, or if you have anything else that you think helped you transition to carnivore, if you could go ahead and comment it below. Thank you. I'll see you next time. Okay. I felt really cheesy saying that. Okay. Bye.